The President. Good morning, members. Let's resume the debate on moving faster to develop a smart government. Mr. Andrew Lam, President, the government has been making an effort to develop a smart city and smart government in recent years, and that includes hardware, software, digital infrastructure within the government. Top of mind for people is how the government uses technology and data to show people tangible policies. We can all see the merits and benefits of technology. There's a change in the thinking of people and the government. We're now talking more about how we can pursue development through technology, but there's room for improvement. Some time ago, friends from the media tried to apply for the direct issue of driver's license. The procedure took several hours, but it could have been done within a few minutes. For all the talk about data interchange, there are problems with the different formats. So let's start with the government's own data. The Social Welfare Department, for example, deals with forms from different people. Seniors apply for different services, and there are schemes on welfare, elderly benefits, etc. There are different schemes. Seniors cannot be expected to know all the criteria, and they have little notion what documents to prepare beforehand. Social workers can help, but then with the population aging and more schemes are coming on stream, we cannot keep adding manpower and add to the workload. Even frontline officers struggle to cope with the new requirements. And people who need help are being referred onward and onward. And nothing comes of it. People get nowhere with their work. Now, for the Social Security allowance cases, we had more than 1 million in 23 to 24, and that number will go up. Now, for the average processing time for new cases, the processing time will go up from 27 to 30 days. Or take the Working Family Allowance Office. Without new manpower, the processing time was 760 days. Over the past 3 years, they spent roughly $270 million on manpower per year, and the number went up to more than $300 million a year. And the WFA got more than 390,000 applications per year, and that means 160 cases per worker. And each case costs so much to process, and we're not even factoring in the so much back and forth going on in the procedure. Technology can help. That's more than data entry and printing what you have entered on the screen. We're talking about big data. Let AI do the job. Let AI help with approving. Some financial institutions have already adopted the technology. They have saved so much time and menial work in vetting the information. The financial sector has done it. The government should be able to manage it. So for the government, it needs an authority on big data. Let's pull the data across departments and sort out the privacy issues. At the departmental level, let's make use of the data we already have, say data on income, assets, health conditions. Let's use data, big data analytics. Let the system sort out the schemes people need and people qualify for and recommend those schemes. Just give people a few simple options, or you can simply give people a choice to accept or reject a recommended scheme. Let people update their details and see if they get new options. That would save manpower for vetting. That also means more personalized assistance for people with needs. I support building a smart government and helping people integrate into the GBA, but we have to start with the government's own smart processes. I so submit. I support the motion and the 2 amendments. Dr. Siu-hung. the GBA needs to be a leading digital Bay Area across the globe. Hong Kong needs to play a role commensurate with its status as an international INT center. I support the motion and the amendment. There's much potential for the GBA. And there's so much Hong Kong can do in terms of sharing resources, bringing out the best in each other between Hong Kong and the rest of the GBA. Hong Kong must answer the call of the times. But for our own government, we must do better in smart initiatives, and we have yet to align our practices with the mainland. So that means we should be more efficient in the government and align our practices with the mainland. That way we go faster in our journey in going smart, so that we can move ahead with the mainland in going smart and going digital. We're behind the curve in our digital public services compared with the rest of the GBA. Past digitalization drives lacked coordination. There was little data sharing between departments, so we got data silos instead, and that meant inefficiency. People applying for different schemes have to fill out forms over and over. Last year, the Digital Policy Office was set up. That was a step to overcome barriers to implement single portal for public services, but the DPO falls under the ITIB. Can it coordinate work across other departments? We don't know yet. Singapore is a leader in digital public services. The ingredient for its success lies in the fact that their Prime Minister takes the lead, and that means success. So for us, we should raise the status of the DPO. Can we get the Chief Secretary of Administration lead the DPO? Can we overcome the barriers between departments? Can we get stronger leadership over the DPO so that it can lead the charge in going digital? We should also upgrade IM Smart and promote this app. IM Smart is a key part of the government's drive to go digital. It works, but registration is cumbersome. It's not user-friendly enough. And people complain that IM Smart is anything but handy. To make single portal for public services a reality, you have to make things simple and enable data sharing. We should cover more services under IM Smart. 1,121 services are available on IM Smart. In Singapore, they have 2,700 services on their platform. We are a far cry from where Singapore is at. We only have 3.3 million users of IM Smart now. That's not even half of our population. The government needs to step up its game in popularizing IM Smart. Let's also expand the functions of IM Smart in cross-boundary public services to bring real benefits for people trying to integrate into life in the GBA. Asymmetries in information and differences in laws and regulations, as well as barriers to cross-boundary flow of information, all that means the scope of CBPS remains limited, and that warrants closer collaboration between Hong Kong and the rest of the GBA, so that we can do better in this area. I so submit. Dr. Starry Lee. President, I thank Mr. Dennis Leung for his motion. This is an opportunity for us to talk about how to fast-track the building of a smart government and helping people integrate into life in the GBA. Successive terms of government have set great store by building a smart government, as well as digital empowerment to save time for everyone. We have seen progress. After Professor Sun Dong took over, we can see he has made a real effort. Still, we have fallen short of public expectations and we are falling behind our neighbors. So we have to do more. Building a smart government is what people want. That's also a key part of our competitiveness. We have a small government. We have to be agile and flexible. Our government is also efficient. But over the years, we can see we haven't exactly been fast in making decisions. We are behind other places, and that will take more than just a smart government to fix. But we hope that a smart government can shorten the time it takes. And hopefully that Hong Kong will become an efficient city again. Look at Shenzhen, Hangzhou. They're moving fast. I can see the pressing need for this problem. We need to be able to show people the benefits. Let's show them the result. Otherwise, we will see our competitiveness further undermined. So, for the government, let's think about this. How do we bring back that efficient government again and show people the real results? We're talking about cutting costs these days, and that's in the budget. There are measures on cutting costs. To cut costs, you want to cut procedures. Every policy address comes with new promises. Now we have to cut procedures. And the best way to do it is using technology. Let's reduce the work for people. Now, let's take the 2%. I applaud the work of the Electrical Secretariat. I'm the chairperson of the House Committee. I know the work that's being done. We're using technology to streamline procedures. And we have achieved reasonable results. I know there's much paperwork in the government. Many reports are compiled. Before I visit a place, before I do anything, I use big data for my research. A similar approach can be adopted by the government so that hopefully you can reduce the workload for government workers and then we can make better use of resources. Now, in the interest of time, I'll get to the point about integration into life in the GBA. There are so many task forces. Perhaps we should set up a task force on integration into life in the GBA. Things have improved, but you can still see people struggling with life in the mainland for Hong Kong residents, say problems with the numbers on your home return permit. The mainland is ahead with their systems. So can we ride on the momentum? Can we plug our systems into the mainland system so that people, Hong Kong residents with their home return permit, can access the benefits of the mainland systems? Alignment of our practices with the mainland can also make life easier for mainland visitors here, and that can encourage more mainland visitors to come here. I can see the Secretary making an effort, but people would like to see clearer results and more tangible results. I so submit. Thank you.
Mr. Ma Feng-kwok. President, I speak in support of Mr. Deng Leung's motion and the amendments. Now, with the development of digitization and transformation around the world, digital government becomes an essential tool for global integration. For Hong Kong, we have more frequent exchanges in terms of the flow of people, capital, goods, and information in the Greater Bay Area. There is a need to break barriers so as to provide a seamless transition for people who would like to live and work in the Greater Bay Area. A smart government is crucial to enhancing competitiveness. It also helps improve people's livelihood. Take Singapore's Smart Nation 2.0 as an example. It places emphasis on enhancing government efficiency. A one-stop portal is set up for members of the public to complete tax returns and other matters. It's called MyInfo. Big data and AI are also used to analyze traffic data in order to alleviate traffic congestion. All these show that the smart government could generate value for society. In fact, in Hong Kong, we've also achieved some progress in terms of digitizing public services, such as I'm Smart, but we should go further. For example, it should align with the Greater Bay Area municipalities' public service platforms so that we can achieve cross-boundary public services. In fact, the Accel government is actively collaborating with the Guangdong provincial government in the delivery of public services. However, we should do more in terms of the social security, tax, and education. Now, with more frequent exchanges with the Greater Bay Area, I believe that millions of people will be traveling to and from the Greater Bay Area every year. Promoting digital public services will improve people's livelihoods. It will bring convenience to the people. President, in terms of healthcare, we also need a smart government. A data sharing mechanism should be set up on healthcare matters so that mainland healthcare professionals could access the system without having to do all the tests again to learn about the history of Hong Kong patients. There should also be quality assurance mechanisms. We should also be able to ensure data security. In the European Union, according to the data security general principles, there are provisions on or regulations on the storage and access of data to protect data subjects. Likewise, we should draw up a similar framework for the Greater Bay Area to promote data sharing. Smart traffic is also an important area with smart government. The Accel government should leverage on the development of the Internet of Things to enhance traffic management, especially at the BCPs, for example, in terms of number of parking spaces, as well as to rationalize the flow of people and traffic, and also to help members of the public plan their commuting. Apart from the hardware, in building a smart government, we should also place emphasis on the nurturing of talents. We should work with the institutions so as to groom more INT talents. The government should also invest in R&D in areas such as AI, blockchain technologies, etc., to boost the development of a smart government. In conclusion, the smart government is crucial to building a digital economy in the future development. This is also crucial to assisting the public in integrating into the life of the in the Greater Bay Area, so that we have smoother traffic and that public services can be delivered in a more efficient manner and improve people's livelihood. Ms. Eunice Yong. President, I speak in support of Dennis Leung's original motion on accelerating the development of a smart government to better assist the public in integrating into the life in the Greater Bay Area. It is crucial that Hong Kong grasp the opportunities brought about by the national strategy so as to improve people's livelihood and meet the needs of residents crossing the boundary for various purposes. Now, I'd like to speak on livelihood matters. In 2018, the Guangdong provincial government took forward a reform and consolidated data from 40 government departments, such as the Transport Department, and with the mini program of Yue Sheng Shi, 120 million users could now process some 2,000 applications online, such as such as the Provident Fund and health insurance. Hong Kong also has a cross-boundary public service initiative. It is connected to the mini program Yue Sheng Shi. I'm delighted to see that efforts are being made, but in terms of publicity and its effectiveness, the government should do more. In Shenzhen City, there is an iCity app that consolidates some 8,000 services. Again, I hope that the Hong Kong Smarts can also be aligned with iShenzhen so that Hong Kong residents can have access to the public services. This can help streamline processes. In fact, in different provinces, even in Zhejiang, the provincial governments offer a single portal for public services. It shows that the data consolidation and process streamlining are crucial to building a smart government. So I hope that in terms of the functions and the efficiency, more can be done, and user experience should be improved. Now, a legal framework has been set up on the sharing of data in the Greater Bay Area. In the mainland, the laws are in line with government in international standards. In 2023, a pilot was rolled out to allow the cross-boundary flow of healthcare and financial data without compromising security. In Qianhai, Hong Kong invested enterprises are also given facilitation measure so that the data storage period can be shortened by 30%. Now, I hope that blockchain technology can be deployed in different areas of people's livelihood. The government should amend the electronic trading ordinance so as to give mutual recognition of electronic signatures in the two places, and that lists such as a negative list or a white list should be drawn up. On improving people's livelihood and bringing more benefits to the public, I think we should take a demand-based approach. Now, on payment systems, in the mainland, we have Alipay and WeChat, but not many operators have joined these payment systems. The government should do more to promote the use of payment systems across the Greater Bay Area. As I understand, we have some dual currency cards available in both places. Likewise, the smart transport passes are now used in both places as well. So we should promote that further so that those without Alipay or WeChat can use Octopus to make payments at shops. Now, for Digital Bay Area, I hope that a card can be set up and that this card could access different services such as library and transport in the mainland, as well as health insurance, and that's offline physical counters should be set up to help the underprivileged, so that we get a share of the success of development in the Greater Bay Area. Mr. Chan Kin-po, with rapid development of technologies, smart government has become a very crucial strategy for different countries to take forward digitization in order to boost public services efficiency. Likewise, we should make use of big data, cloud computing, and AI so as to bring convenience to the public and help them integrate into the life in the Greater Bay Area. And one key point is promoting the flow of data in the Greater Bay Area. In 2025, there should be full adoption of I'm Smart and for a single portal to be set up for public services in Hong Kong. 3.3 million users have registered for I'm Smart. And there are facilitation features such as the filling of forms, the use of contactless e-channel, as well as digital signature function. It's really convenient. The government should continue to enhance I'm Smart. For example, in terms of registering for visitors at private premises, the smart personal code should be expanded to cover more premises, and that in the Greater Bay Area, more should be done. We should also enhance publicity. We should leverage on big data and AI and cloud computing so as to enhance efficiency whilst lowering infrastructure costs. More government services should be hosted on government clouds so that public can have access to these services more conveniently. This can also enhance flexibility as well. Meanwhile, the government should ensure data security on government clouds. There should be regular tests and drills to build resilience against cyber attacks. Now, another key point for living in the Greater Bay Area is healthcare. E-health was rolled out in 2024, July. The e-health rolled out a new function for cross-boundary sharing of e-health data. Now, for elderly using healthcare vouchers, they could apply for the function for data to be retrieved across the boundary for institutions, healthcare institutions outside Hong Kong, and that vouchers could be used. The government should expand the scope of application, and more mainland institutions should be recognized, and there should also be enhanced public education and publicity. Only when people have trust in the e-health system and have their data stored in the system would the system be effective. In terms of smart transport, we have every day there are 5 million trips of Hong Kong and Macau vehicles using the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau bridge, and the number of applications reach 500 per day. The Hong Kong e-mobility app includes a function that indicates the number of parking places at the plaza at the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge, Hong Kong Port. The government should continue to roll out more initiatives to facilitate drivers. For smart government to be a success, we need not only to promote public services, but also make sure that they're integrated in the Greater Bay Area. The government should enhance publicity. The government should make use of I'm Smart platform to consolidate different public services so that they become easy to use to help people integrate into the life of the GBA.
Ms. Elizabeth Court. Thank you, President. I speak in support of Mr. Dennis Leung's motion to develop a smart government and integrate into the life in the GBA. In a 14th five-year plan, it is said that we need to build a smart government and a smart China. In 2019, the country promulgated the GBA Action Plan. It emphasizes the development of a smart city is an important element. We need to build a smart city cluster, the contents, pinpoint that we need to set up standards and public data platforms. We need to develop energy, governance, community, and so on. IM-Smart has seen its functions being enhanced. Over 3.3 million users. We are moving towards having a single portal for online government services. We also work with the mainland counterpart to facilitate cross-boundary public services. We have made breakthroughs with the mainland China. We have the standard contract for cross-boundary flow of personal information within GBA. Then we can further develop ourselves into the GBA integration. The Smart City Alliance set up by me work with an organization in China. We put forward some proposals. I will focus on some major proposals. We need to promote smart computing, satellite communication, and other new infrastructures. We need to enhance computing power. The Development Bureau and the Lands Department need to enhance CSDI to provide more information for the public. This is a good example of using technologies. We hope to build a similar platform in the GBA. The Hong Kong Meteorology Bureau should also be involved. COP should work with the mainland unit to build a platform in relation to weather, so we can combine forces to work together to share weather information and disaster prevention information. We can leverage on advanced technologies to protect our citizens. Hong Kong should also work with mainland cities to promote low-altitude economy. Transport in low-altitude economy will bring a lot of economic benefits. We need to discuss how to promote low-altitude economy and have some pilot routes. Because of differences in legal systems and governance structures, data interflow and information interoperability still face a lot of challenges. We need to build a mutual recognition system. This is key. The government should set up a task force so more financial institutions will be involved. Then we can develop smart finance. I also suggest that we need to have a standard data center GBA. We need to attract more INT enterprises and talents to come to Hong Kong for development. In addition, we have a lot of INT strategies. We need to work with mainland China to develop Hong Kong into International INT Center. For the specifics of other proposals, please refer to our report. INT and integration with the GBA are key. The government needs to set targets that are aggressive or ambitious enough for us to integrate into the GBA. We need a timeline in order to reap economic benefits. Thank you. Mr. Perry Yu. Thank you, President. We need to provide smart government services. If we want to develop a smart government and integrate into the GBA, we need to improve the business environment and improve the quality of living for Hong Kong citizens as well as for the travel experience for visitors. In November 2023, the Guangdong government issued the 3-year action plan for digital GBA. A total of 7 main points were mentioned. It outlined the action plan for digital GBA for the coming 3 years. We're moving towards those goals. Say we have the cross-boundary public services. A total of 77 items are available. And the new version of IM-Smart allows members of the public to use the Siu-hung mobile app to facilitate cross-boundary public services. There are also cross-boundary public services kiosks in Hong Kong. For contactless e-channel, Hong Kong vehicles going north, international driving licenses. All these public services are convenient to members of the public living in Hong Kong, but we need to enhance publicity. As far as I understand, the number of users of contactless e-channels is on the low side. With technological advances, like many members of the public, I want to enjoy convenience when we travel to different places to handle personal business. The government has achieved some results in this regard, but in relation to cross-boundary user experience, that leaves much to be desired. According to the CNSD, for Hong Kong residents living in GBA, there are over 500,000. There are many Hong Kong people going to the GBA. But oftentimes, trivial matters, banking matters, government services, owing to these matters, we need to go to different places in the GBA, and this is not convenient. A lack of convenience is a pain point. In the mainland, it is called hassled offline. With I Am Smart, we need to enable interoperability with Yueshengshi mobile app so we can achieve the principle of single portal for online government services. We need to break information silos. We also need to facilitate cross-boundary data interchange. Say Hong Kong Shenzhen Hospital, they accept Hong Kong people for consultations in the hospital. We need to expand the function of e-health to facilitate cross-boundary health record. At the same time, we need to safeguard personal privacy that will ease the strain on the local healthcare sector. Of course, as a representative of the tourist industry, I am concerned about the ease of immigration clearance. As Mr. Chen Siu-hung mentioned, we need to promote the in-depth integration of the economic and social development of Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau GBA. We need to provide convenience across 3 places. We just need a home visit permit in order to go to the mainland. It's very convenient. I look forward to more facilitation measures provided to members of the public in Hong Kong that will incentivize us to travel to mainland. On Chung Yung Street in Sha Tao Kok, there is a facial recognition feature, and there will also be a new boundary control point, one inspection, then there is multiple approval for clearance. I hope the efficiency at boundary control points can be enhanced, say by using contactless clearance. We need to build GBA into a more livable and sustainable city. This is my view. Thank you, Mr. Lee Chen-kung. As a core city in the GBA, Hong Kong needs to move towards digitalization and smart development of the city. In particular, the smart government will allow Hong Kong people to better integrate into the GBA. Mr. Andrew Lam just now put forward a lot of good proposals. I go along with Mr. Andrew Lam. We have a mobile phone, and we enjoy the convenience brought by digitalization and smart development of the city. But then there are still information silos in Hong Kong. Information across different policy departments or policy bureaus cannot be interchangeable or cannot be exchanged. We need to allow data to be exchanged freely across policy bureaus, so members of the public were able to use such functions with personal information freely flowing across different government policy bureaus. We need to make sure these e-functions meet the demand for senior citizens in Hong Kong. We should make it connected to the public services of 9+2 cities in the GBA. In relation to cross-boundary data interchange, the government should work with Shenzhen to set up standards of cross-boundary flow. Members of the public should be able to enjoy cross-boundary health record as well as record for their children in the education aspect. Mr. Chen Siu-hung said in the amendment that we need to start working on the construction of the city brain. In 2023, I went to Zhejiang and Hangzhou. What surprised me was my visit to the city brain, that is an infrastructure project in the city. It helps decision makers in the city to make decisions that will help Hangzhou to be developed into a better city with more human interactions. Transportation, water supply, energy, all these can be turned digital. There can also be a data collection system, data application platforms to conduct real-time analyses for the city. Resources can be allocated immediately that will solve the problems in relation to transport, energy, and so on. That will enhance the efficiency of a city and that will better protect the infrastructures of a city. We should learn from the mainland. We need to draw reference from the city brain in Hangzhou. First of all, for the care teams in the 18 districts as well as other district services, we need to know what the public needs. Then we can solve livelihood issues at the district level. I've been pondering over how we can help the public to integrate into the GBA development. We need 3 conditions. 1, we need to work with the government to have a GBA identity card. So GBA residents don't have to apply for documents before they can come to Hong Kong. In relation to capital flow, we need to, as soon as possible, have a GBA renminbi platform. There could be cross-boundary money remittance. There should also be accounts for the public to buy, for example, vehicles and land. There should also be a data center development so we can allow cross-boundary data interchange. Biology, healthcare, we will be able to see developments in these areas. Digitalization and smart development will help our city improve. The public in Hong Kong will enjoy a better living standard. We need to promote cross-boundary data interchange so we can build a more livable Hong Kong. Thank you.
Mr. Bill Tang. The motion is to speed up the building of a smart government to better assist the public in integrating into life in the GBA. I support Mr. Dennis Leung's motion, but we should add another sentence, and that's moving faster in building a smart government to improve governance. We want digital public services. The mainland is a global leader. We have to learn from the mainland. Mr. Michael Lee just brought up the city brain in Hangzhou. And it's only right for Mr. Chen Siu-hung to mention that in his amendment. We visited Hangzhou some years ago. We saw for ourselves that the technology could help with city management in real time. That covered law and order, utilities, everything. You could see everything in real time. That's no easy task. But we need a timetable. We should push ourselves to get there. And it's never too late to start. Our departments are sitting on their own troves of data. Things are improving indeed. The housing department is working with the lands department. They're sharing data to combat public rental housing abuse, but that's not going far enough. People's personal data are also sitting in government departments, and we're not making enough use of that. In 2023, I was the chairman of the panel on welfare services. We visited Guangzhou. We looked at the care homes. The Guangzhou municipal government showed us a system covering the seniors in the city. In the system, you could see the people living with those seniors. You could look at the history of care for those seniors. And with the consent of those seniors, you could put the surveillance cameras in those homes, and you could check out what's going on in those homes in real time. Guangzhou has a huge population. They spend tens of millions of yuan on building that system. That way, the seniors living alone or frail seniors there got those systems to help them, and they got the sense of security. In Hong Kong, we hear cases of seniors living alone. Something goes wrong. No one helps them. They die. We find out only when it's too late. Their bodies are already decomposing. When something similar happens in Guangzhou, the official in charge will be fired in 3 days. So when you have a population that's aging, the mainland can deliver the care that's needed. In Guangzhou, they have canteens for seniors. Of course, there's subsidy. Small private enterprises offer budget meals for seniors at 10 yuan. Some canteens also adopt smart features. Say a senior wants an extra scoop of the dishes, and then there's a machine alerting the senior to the fact that they have high cholesterol, they should be mindful of their diet. So that's very caring, very thoughtful. So let's learn from the mainland. A member brought up the data silos. Let's fix that. At the meeting of the panel on welfare services only this month, we talked about compiling a list of high-risk seniors. We talked about that for years. Nothing came of it. We're simply saying, let's pull the data from the SWD, the housing department, and the hospital authority. Let's compile such a list and get care teams and other social organizations to help them. The data is already sitting in government departments. So let's move faster in building a smart government and our digital services. I so submit. Mr. Dominic Lee. Technology is moving ahead. Hong Kong residents are living or visiting other mainland cities of the Greater Bay Area. And that means growing public expectations of our digital services and cross-boundary public services. I thank Mr. Dennis Leung for his motion on building a smart government to better assist the public in integrating into life in the GBA. This is an opportunity for members to share our thoughts on this topic. I have followed this debate. I've heard the different suggestions from members. So a thought came to mind for me. some ideas can already be implemented. Maybe it's just me. I heard the speeches of Mr. Lai Tong-kwok and other members. We are already implementing certain ideas. So for that, I want to thank the ITIB. I want to thank Professor Sun Dong. We have already done much in I Am Smart. Much of what we are discussing can already be delivered. But members brought up these points. So the crux of the matter is education. The service is there, but not everyone uses it. Say e-channel. I didn't use it. A year ago, I went to an occasion. I ran into the director of immigration, and then Mr. Kwok helped me install the app. So we already have those apps or services in place. But we have to find a way to let people know that those services are available. I'm turning on my app. I have the app open. You have everything on the app, renewing your driver's license, HA Go, and also your MPF. I just came across this feature. It's a exit app for Kai-Tak Sports Park, an app showing you how to leave the venue. So many features are already on I Am Smart. I know there has been a community project of the ITIB, and that involves working with community groups to educate the public about installing and using I Am Smart. That project is working. More than 3 million people are already using I Am Smart, but that's not going far enough. Of course, we want universal adoption of the app. That's the best case scenario. Now, I want to say something politically risky, maybe, and that is, how do we get people to use the app? I'm not saying we mandate the use, right, but I'm saying let's consider other places when the cost of not using it is so high and you cannot get things done. And then people will use the app. But we can further discuss the scope. So that's for building a smart government locally. I know much has been done. Please keep up the work. Now I turn to cross-boundary public services. And that covers the different laws and regulations between Hong Kong and the mainland, and that will require engagement between the authorities on both sides. That means more challenges. Now, when Hong Kong residents go to the mainland for shopping and dining, there is e-payment, there are transport issues. You can already sort those problems out with the tech. But there's room for improvement when people are obtaining their driver's license or other documents for the first time. So I want to say that I know the ITIB has done much, and with the work, we will be able to improve life for people, and there will be more collaboration. Professor Priscilla Leung. I think everyone will support the motion today. This is the wave of the future. We have the secretary here. So this is an opportunity for the secretary to tell us what the DPO has done since last year and the challenges along the way after members have spoken. So how do we go about this smart government initiative? I worked on this bill to decolonialize our law, our statute book. And there is this law in place since 1989. We have already pulled out from a certain international organization. So let's find a way to find all the terms and fix them, replace them in one go. But the Department of Justice could not give me an answer on how we could do that. And then at the work report of the 2 sessions this year, we talked about getting things done efficiently, and that will require cross-departmental collaboration. The ITIB is doing its work, but can the ITIB get other departments and bureaus to go along? Let's take Excel spreadsheets. A new joining senior civil servant told me their boss struggled with Excel. You can fix the problem with Excel in just 1 day. Without Excel, you will need a week or 2. That still exists in the government, and I believe this is a commonplace problem because the decision makers today are not as tech savvy as the young people today. They should pick up the new skills. We have the Civil Service College. We should step up training on 1 country, 2 systems. But let's not forget digital literacy. We don't need everyone to know everything, but we need the decision makers to be able to set the key performance indicators on digital literacy so that you can get things done quickly instead of dragging things out. Now I turn to the Greater Bay Area. We talked about how we envy the position of Hangzhou. They sorted everything out with technology. They also had smart Chinese medicine. They could deliver the drugs in half an hour's time. So what we have to do is to act on alignment of rules, convergence of practices, and also linking up different departments' data. The DPO has to do something. We have to get the department started. We have to do something. I proposed some ideas at the 2 sessions. One point I made was the interchange of data. Can we have a whitelist for research and development in the GBA? Hong Kong is hesitating, but the mainland is moving fast with research, industry, and development. Say, can we have an express corridor? Can we have a white list? Now, we keep the sensitive data in their localities, something we're all comfortable with. Can we also have a GBA intellectual property assessment center? Can we have standard patent or trademark standards? And that would speed up mass production. Let's also learn from Guangdong province. And they already have their management regulations on data flow. So let's do something here. Let's enact something. Let's enact a piece of legislation on data flow. We can start with the low-hanging fruits. We don't have to get everything right in one go. Let's start with what we strictly need. Can the Secretary tell us in a moment the progress you've made, the challenges you've faced, etc.? I so submit.
Mr. Paul, Chair. President, well, there are always two sides of a coin. It's only common knowledge. So we should consider both the pros and cons. Or even more important is that we should consider the cons before we consider the pros. Now, on today's motion, members have talked about the merits. At the same time, some members, especially, say Ms. Kamen Khan, talked about some matters we should pay attention to, such as the Digital Policy Office of the government being the gatekeeper, and Mr. Johnny Ng referring to the importance of data security in allowing cross-boundary flow of data into the mainland. At the same time, President, I think we should pay attention to other things happening on the internet as well, such as cyberbullying and cyber frauds. President, in the past 3 years, the government announced that there were at least 10 cases of ransomware activities. Well, no significant losses were incurred on the part of government. For Far East development, however, 250 gigabytes of data were compromised. What's more staggering is that the daughter of Baidu, who is 13 years old, retrieved data of Baidu amounting to or affecting 1.4 billion people in the mainland. Well, after this matter has been revealed, the father had to resign, of course, but more importantly, there was a dark web, in fact, that allowed hacking activities to take place, and that 1.4 billion people's data kept by Baidu were compromised. So all these show that it's a double-edged sword. We have merits and problems when using the internet. The security really warrants our concern. Whilst IT boosts efficiency around the world, there are other problems such as online deception and hacking activities. We need to expedite the integration into the Greater Bay Area. At the same time, we need to mull over certain problems. For example, we have different systems and different customs and circumstances between the two places. In terms of regulation, we have very different mechanisms for law enforcement. In the mainland, they may enforce the law really expeditiously. They can take people to task at speed, whereas in Hong Kong, we have a totally different pace. Now, although it is said that we have mutual recognition and that certain things can be enforced in both places, but all in all, in terms of enforcement, Hong Kong seems to be slower. Well, there is also a suggestion that the debate that is going on here is not efficient enough. We're getting too slow. But under the common law in Hong Kong, I'd say that people are more culturally advanced, they are more literate, and they have trust in each other. We use the honor system, we respect each other, whereas in the mainland, it's exactly the opposite. They don't have trust among themselves, and that even for the transfer involving accounts, you tend to believe that the other side is a fraudster. And that's a difference between Hong Kong and the Greater Bay Area, and that's a systemic difference. We need to ensure that we are not neglecting all these concerns and all these differences just for the sake of integration and accelerating development, because otherwise there will be even more blunders and even more policy issues. I think we need to pay attention to these.
Does any other member wish to speak? Mr. Dennis Leung, you may now speak on the amendments. Thank you, President. I thank 37 members for expressing their views on developing a smart government to help the public to integrate into the life in the GBA. I'm grateful to Mr. Chen Siu-hung and Mr. Siu-hung for their amendments. Their amendments further enhance the contents of my original motion. I support their amendments. First of all, on the viewpoints of Mr. Chen Siu-hung, digitalization promotes the in-depth integration of the economic and social development of the GBA. The 3 places in the GBA are seeing in-depth integration. Mr. Chen mentioned starting the planning for the construction of City Brain and strengthening the interconnection and mutual recognition of digital infrastructures between Hong Kong and the mainland. Infrastructures cover both hardware and software. At present, the digital infrastructures in Hong Kong aren't as mature as those in the mainland China. In the mainland China, AI is employed to achieve better resource allocation in society. We need to draw from the mainland to have a unified data platform. We need to share big data to allocate resources in society. The government needs to digitalize public services. We shouldn't waste any more time. We need to further develop a smart city. We should also exchange more frequently with the mainland China. We need to learn from mainland China. The concept of the city brain is what we need to learn from. The mainland China has sufficient application scenarios for us to learn from. We need to commence planning for the construction of the city brain for the interconnection and mutual recognition of digital infrastructures. Mr. Siu-hung mentioned that we need to proactively seize the opportunities brought by digitalization, thereby promoting the digitalization of public services, cloud computing, AI, blockchain, and so on in the government services. According to the UN in 2023, in relation to sustainable goals, SD 2030, we need to make good use of government platforms and digitalization to promote transparency, civil participation, and public services. We need to allow data to be exchanged across different policy bureaus. The amendments also mention personal privacy matters. Personal data privacy is close to my heart. The government develops the digitalization of smart apps. This is seen in different government departments in the provision of government services. Some members of the public are concerned about personal data leakage. So the administration needs to ensure the safety of their personal data. The FTU is concerned about personal data privacy as well as personal and professional development. We need to narrow the digital gap or digital divide and minimize the impact of data monopoly. We need to encourage members of the public, especially the senior citizens, to make good use of technology. Digital developments have everything to do with the development of a society. The FTU will continue to tap society for their views on the use of technologies. We will remain in talks with the administration to promote the development of digitalization so that we can together develop the concept of city brain in the provision of public services. I shall submit.
Secretary for Innovation, Technology and Industry. President, once again, I thank Mr. Dennis Leung for his motion. My heartfelt gratitude also goes to Mr. Chen Siu-hung and Mr. Stephen Ho for their amendments, and the more than 30 members who shared their insights on the motion of accelerating the building of a smart government to better assist the public in integrating into life in the GBA. Hong Kong is a core city of the digital Bay Area of Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau. In this connection, we will actively promote a digital government to better assist the public and businesses with integrating into the development of the smart city cluster of the GBA, optimizing top-level design to build a digital government faster. As many members have mentioned, promoting a smart government requires a top-level design. To further speed up the building of a smart government in a forward-looking and systematic way, we reformed our institutions by setting up the Digital Policy Office in July 2024. That step was taken to fast-track the building of a digital government with a holistic strategy. The DPO is tasked with devising policies and measures on digital government, data governance, and information technology, steering the overall delivery of the government's digital policy, and fostering data and business process integration among bureaus and departments to move faster in going digital with public services. Meanwhile, the DPO also fast-tracks the building of a digital government in Hong Kong by strengthening digital infrastructure support, promoting data interchange, and fostering innovation and smart applications within the government. The collective effort of the DPO, other bureaus and departments has enabled us to achieve the goal of going fully electronic for government services in 2024. Roughly 1,480 licensees and government services involving applications and approval, and more than 600 fees and charges now offer electronic settlement as an option. To ensure a better and integrated experience of e-government services, we're fully upgrading IM Smart to link up the app with all e-government services so as to achieve the goal of a single portal for all online government services within this year. IM Smart is currently connected with over 1,100 government and public or private sector services and government e-forms, covering a wide range of areas closely related to people's daily lives and business operations, such as banking, finance, trade, retail, transportation, and employment. Many members urged us to make good use of the single portal. That's why, since last year, we have introduced several enhancements, including streamlining the registration process of IM Smart by allowing the public to register with a smartphone and to upgrade to IM Smart Plus, which comes with digital signatures. We also launched a brand new user-friendly IM Smart interface and the personal assistant page. The new features are powered by AI and big data analytics to show and recommend government services customized to the user's preferences and needs. The new IM Smart personal code protects privacy while serving as a means of identification. Many buildings now scan a visitor's code to record their identity. In just 1 year, IM Smart saw the number of its registered users jump by 700,000 to over 3.3 million now. We will keep working to add new features to the app this year. Additions will include the sign-up authentication for users to enjoy greater security when conducting important transactions. A platform for mini-programs will also be launched for government departments and organizations to integrate their mobile apps into IM Smart so that people will not need to install extra apps. We're also working to consolidate and save government resources as members have suggested. In addition, we're speeding up the building of the digital corporate identity platform to enable businesses to securely and conveniently authenticate their corporate identity and perform or verify their digital signatures when using e-government services or conducting business transactions online. This will massively reduce the administrative burden and time required for data retrieval, document submission, and data verification. Building a digital government will spur the growth of Hong Kong's digital economy. Strengthening digital infrastructure support. Apart from IM Smart and the digital corporate identity system, we're also committed to providing robust and secure digital infrastructure to maximize the potential of digitalization, and that will speed up the building of a digital government. The DPO has launched the Government Cloud Infrastructure Services and multiple shared platforms for departments to develop and optimize digital government services with greater speed, cost effectiveness, and accuracy by leveraging technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, cloud computing, and blockchain, as well as analyzing and sharing data. Take, for instance, the new generation of the Government Cloud Infrastructure Services. That provides a secure, robust, and scalable infrastructure to enable departments to develop and implement e-government services more efficiently, currently supporting nearly 500 government services and applications. The Big Data Analytics platform facilitates the use of big data analytics by departments to enhance operational efficiency of the government. So the technology covers weather and assessment of traffic conditions, and that improves government efficiency. And we also have the e-proof platform that supports many departments in offering digital documents that can be verified on the platform. The Fire Services Department has 12 such kinds of licenses. The Education Bureau also uses e-proof. So far, over 1.5 million digital documents covering 18 types of licenses and certificates have been issued by 5 bureaus and departments with e-proof. We will take a coordinated approach to boost efficiency and lower costs. We will work to reduce duplicate R&D, and most importantly, we will deliver better services for the public. Fostering data interchange. Data infrastructure aside, data is the most important element. To make good use of data, we will need both quality and quantity. Therefore, as members have argued, our data policy seeks to promote the flow and sharing of data so as to break down data silos or information silos. Last year, the DPO launched a dedicated webpage on data governance and published the principles of data governance, which aimed precisely to enhance data quality and reliability, foster data flow and sharing, and strengthen data protection, and promote data-driven development. To foster data sharing among departments, the Consent Data Exchange Gateway, built by the DPO, was linked up with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority's commercial data interchange. So with users' consent, departments can use people's personal data for other digital services. At the end of 2023, CDEC was linked up with the Hong Kong Monetary Authority's commercial data interchange that allowed financial institutions to access company registration data with users' consent, and that facilitated the effective use of data. And the work here also covers open data. The government has always adopted open data as a fundamental principle of digital government. On our open data portal, over 100 bureaus and departments and public or private bodies have opened up more than 5,500 data sets, annual usage more than 60 billion occasions, and that allowed more services to be launched to make life easier for people and businesses. As members have argued, we will step up the work on open data and also enhance data governance. This year, we will compile departmental data catalogs to help departments find out the data that can be shared by other departments, and we will promote the collection, analysis, sharing, and application of data amongst departments so as to achieve maximum synergy, and that will speed up the building of a digital government. On AI applications to improve government efficiency. Now, apart from open data and sharing data, building a smart government also involves making greater use of innovative measures. Mr. Stephen Ho's amendment and other members have called on the government to upgrade public services in going digital. The government is making strides here. The government has embraced AI-based solutions, and we have been adopting these measures to improve our efficiency. Say, we're now using such technology for 1823, where automatic speech recognition is used to improve government hotline services. Drones and AI are used to assist with rescue missions. Better cost projections are now possible for construction projects. AI models are used with advanced geospatial technologies to detect and analyze road defect. AI robotic dogs are developed with AI algorithms to deduce pollution sources. The SAR government uses AI to improve public services, and we will be moving ever faster on this. All government departments have started piloting a self-developed large language model, HK-Guy V1, developed by the Hong Kong Generative AI Research and Development Center, and that improved the efficiency with document processing work. This year, a chatbot will also be launched for public access. CityBrain. AI applications aside, members have also brought up the CityBrain. CityBrain combines technology and data to improve city management. This is also what the government hopes to achieve. The government adopts a range of smart city solutions in its all-round approach to city management. The TD has the Emergency Management Center, the Road Highways Department, and also the Security Bureau all have their own emergency response centers. They adopt different technologies. They coordinate with each other in providing targeted quality services to help officers make decisions and find the most effective solutions. And we will keep moving forward with building a smart city. The Accel government will move with the times. We will keep an open mind to explore and adopt different smart city solutions. And that will include, as members suggested, learning from the city management approach adopted in the mainland. We will also step up the sharing and pooling of data between departments, and that to improve Hong Kong's overall success in city management. Digital inclusion. Promoting a smart city, a smart government should be pursued with the digital gap in mind. That's why we promote digital inclusion. We take a multi-pronged approach. We help seniors with this journey in going digital, in deepening collaboration with the mainland. As members suggested, we want to help people to integrate into the GBA. We want to seize the opportunities. We want to fast-track the building of the digital Bay Area. So in 2023, the DP, our government, signed an agreement with the Guangdong authorities. We set up a task force on building a smart city cluster. So we have the platform, the institutions, to work out the projects we can work on together, and that includes smart cross-boundary public services. We're building the infrastructure, building the capacity. We're exploring more applications where we can work together, and we're moving faster with the cross-boundary flow of elements. And we're also working on cross-boundary or mutual or collaboration initiatives. We have set up self-service kiosks of cross-boundary public services and also self-registration kiosks of I Am Smart. That will help people and businesses access public services online. CBPS now covers more than 150 services in the mainland and Hong Kong. As we also link up the platforms between those in Hong Kong and those in the mainland, we're making life easier for businesses. I Am Smart is now connected to the Unified Identity Authentication Platform of Guangdong Province. Now, Hong Kong residents can access services such as US through I Am Smart, and that will make things easier for people. And we will also be working on linkage with platforms such as iShenzhen and other platforms of Guangdong Province. Guangdong and Hong Kong also recognize the electronic signature certificates of each other. This mutual recognition applies to cross-boundary public services, finance, and trade. Mainland residents have been able to set up securities accounts in Hong Kong remotely through these certificates. From 2023 onwards, Hong Kong residents have also been able to sign up on a one-stop service platform for businesses run by the Guangzhou with such certificates. One thing close to the heart of members is fostering cross-boundary data flow. We have made a breakthrough. We have jointly issued standard contracts with the Cyberspace Administration of China to foster the flow of personal data from various industries in the 9 mainland cities of the GBA to Hong Kong. We will continue to work with the mainland ministries and also the Bay Area authorities on more projects involving cross-boundary data flow. The government takes cybersecurity and data security seriously. We enhance data governance to inspire public confidence in the system. Government departments need to follow strictly the PDPO and also the data security regulations. Departments also have to follow the government information security policy and data security policy, as well as the data security audit and incident response requirements, and also staff training requirements in an all-round approach to secure data security. The DPO will also hold cybersecurity drills and security audits. There will be training on core data competencies to strengthen the governance and security of government departments and also public organizations. Now, to better protect the computer systems of critical infrastructures, last December, the Security Bureau submitted the Protection of Computer Systems of Critical Infrastructures Bill 2024. On the 19th of March, that bill received its third reading and was passed. President, going digital is the basis of a smart city. We want to deliver more cost-effective services for the public, and we want to show real benefits to businesses. And that will spur the growth of a digital and smart city. Improving government efficiency is a key area of the current term government, and that will also make Hong Kong more competitive so that Hong Kong becomes a leader in digital economy and smart cities. The DPO plays a crucial role in the government's drive to go digital. It will continue to provide various kinds of support for Hong Kong's digital transition by enhancing data predictability and analytical capabilities, strengthening central coordination functions, and adapting to the needs of the times and local conditions to lead Hong Kong to become an international center of excellence in digital economy and smart cities. President, I thank all members who have spoken once again. I so submit.
Siu-hung.
I now call upon Mr. Chen Siu-hung to move an amendment. President, I move my amendment. I propose to question to you that Mr. Chen Siu-hung's amendment be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the amendment passed. Mr. Stephen Ho, as an amendment is passed, you may move your further amendment. President, I move my further amendment. I propose to question to you that Mr. Stephen Ho's amendment be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of members present. I declare the amendment passed. Mr. Dennis Leung, you still have 3 minutes and 46 seconds to reply, then the debate will come to a close. Mr. Dennis Leung. Thank you, President. Once again, I thank the 37 members for speaking on this motion. They enriched my motion. They expressed valuable opinions on developing a smart city. Hong Kong was once a place on which the Chinese nation took pride on. Hong Kong moves fast, but sometimes too fast. This has catapulted Hong Kong to the frontier globally. There was the pandemic and black-clad violence. Hong Kong seemed to have come to a halt. There were a total of 478 district councillors. We worked very hard, tirelessly, to put forward proposals to the administration. We want to help the government to boost the economy and improve livelihood. We need to better integrate into the development of the GBA. We need to develop a smart government. We have the DPO in the administration. We need to make good use of it. Other policy bureaus are responsible for different areas, say data management and INT. We need to start from the top level, design and conduct reforms. We need to consolidate resources. We need to avoid information silos. Owing to constraints of the PDPO, there are constraints, and we need to remove barriers in this regard. The government needs to pull out all the stops to make this happen. We need to go digital and work on the concept of the city brain. We need to draw on the experience of the mainland in relation to the city brain. The officers responsible for that aren't working hard enough. We need to put in resources to help the old in the community to enhance their digital confidence. We need to keep digital divide in check. We need to establish a set of standards in relation to data exchange with the mainland China. That's exactly how we can build or develop a digital GBA. Then all members of the public in the two places will feel the convenience brought by digitalization. Then they will have a sense of happiness, satisfaction, and well-being. Once again, I appeal to all members of the Council to work together so that the Pearl of the Orient will scale new heights. I so submit. I now put the question to you. Mr. Dennis Leung's motion as amended by Mr. Chen Siu-hung and Mr. Siu-hung be passed. Will those in favor please raise their hands? Those against, please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of each of the two groups of the members present. I declare the motion as amended passed.
Members' motion with no legislative effect.